In Emerald Isle with my family. I'm here with my husband and daughter, and then my sister and her family, and another one of my nieces, and my parents. And we got here Saturday. It's now Thursday, so our week is quickly coming to an end, which is what happens. But I want to show you guys, I want to take a few minutes to show you guys what I've been working on while I've been here, because I have two projects that I've really been hitting hard. And then I also did a little trip to Salty Sheep Yarn Shop, which I also want to talk about, but let me get the camera flipped around so I can show you. Okay, so the theme is blue for sure. I've got a lot of blue going on. Blue is my favorite color, so that kind of makes sense. So here is my Dreyma sweater that I'm working on. This is actually my second attempt. My first attempt, I knit it for almost 2 hours. So it's like 10 hours for us to get here from where we live in Pennsylvania. So for the first 8-ish hours, maybe 7 hours, because it was dark when we left, I worked on my Dreyma and got to row 13 in the chart and realized I had done something wrong. So I had to rip it out, and then I got tired of ripping out in the back of the car, which is where I was sitting with my puppy, who was very rambunctious at the time because she was tired of being in the car for so many hours. And so I just cut the yarn, and I will deal with this later, or I'll just stuff it into, like, use it as stuffing in something. But I restarted it, and here you go. This is what I've decided to use. So I did a little poll on my last episode asking, should I use this blue as the main color or the off-white, and the results were pretty much split. But I decided to go with the light cream, the cream color, because I don't have a light creamy colored colorwork sweater in my wardrobe, and I'm really loving how this is turning out. And actually, when I worked on this in the car, I had about probably this plus another, I don't know, 3-4 inches, and it was looking really pretty. So I'm happy with this decision. So this is Drops Air. I'll put the colorways down below. 45 and what is this? Color 2. Okay, so that's what's in this bag. So I have that, and I just restarted this sweater yesterday. I was so frustrated with myself after messing it up and having to pull it back that I thought I can't work on that again right now. So I just restarted this yesterday, and I worked on it a little bit. But what I've been working on more is this sock. This is a what I call a prayer. These are prayer socks. So basically, if you've heard of like prayer shawl ministries, where you will knit or crochet a shawl for someone who is dealing with challenging things in their life. A lot of churches have these ministries. The church I attend has had this ministry. I've been involved in it. We're not an active ministry right now, but I always thought, not everybody wants a prayer shawl. No, that's not correct. Not everybody wears shawls. So for me, I thought maybe a sock would be more practical, especially when it comes to like males. So I am knitting this for my friend's father, who has been dealing with cancer for the last couple of years, and it's gotten very serious and severe over the last 6 months. I am making him these, and they are DK weight because I'm holding Knit Picks Stroll Tweed double with just various colors of this, of like commercially dyed yarn. Yeah, just my scraps. I basically just grabbed all the scraps that had blue in them. And this was another kind of knitting failure because after I messed up that sweater in the car, I had about 2 hours left until we got to our destination, so I decided to cast these on. I have not knitted men's DK weight socks before. I've knit female socks. So I got on the internet and I was kind of trying to do some research to see what size would be best. And I think I decided to cast on 60 stitches, which I felt like that was a lot, but I went with it because that's what I was getting when I was putting in like his shoe size and everything. That's what the internet was telling me to do. I got the cuff done, and then probably 4 inches, like where my pinky finger is, down into here. And I looked at the sock and it looked like it was a sweater sleeve, and so I knew it was going to be way too big, so I had to rip that out. That was all in the car ride, and then I think we still had like 30 minutes to go, and I'm like, I'm done with knitting in the car. Like, everything I've worked on has been a fail, which it's just like that sometimes, you know. But at least my hands were busy while I was sitting there for 12 hours. So then the next day is when I cast these on again, and I ended up casting on, what did I cast on? 52 stitches. So I cast on 52 stitches for this, and I'm using a size US 2 9-inch circular needle. So I'm trying to get these done quickly because he's not doing well, and I want to get these to him soon. And so my goal is I'm hoping I can have the pair finished like by the time we get home from vacation, which means I've got like 10 to 11 hours in the car on the way home as well. So, and then I've got another basically 2 days here to work on them. But I'm really happy with how they're turning out. I think that they are really nice and thick and cozy. I love DK weight socks. Maybe not the most practical for wearing inside shoes. Boots, yes, but regular shoes, probably not, because they are so thick. But even for him to wear just at home, kind of like, you know, to keep his feet warm, and hopefully he'll feel loved and prayed for. Yeah, so those are my 2 projects that I have been working on while on vacation here. I was also able to make a stop in at the Salty Sheep yarn shop in Swansboro, North Carolina, which is like a 10-minute drive from where we're staying here in Emerald Isle. And I got to speak to Peggy, the owner, who is just an absolute delight. And I had dropped Brad and Lily off in Swansboro to just kind of walk around and, you know, do their thing in the town. It's a cute little town. And then I drove to the yarn shop. So I spent about an hour at the yarn shop. I picked up a few goodies. I'm going to share those a bit later. I got some yarn for a sweater that I'm going to make for myself, and then a yarn for a baby sweater I'm making for a friend of mine, and then I got a few things to include in the giveaway package that I'm sending off to Wendy, who won the giveaway. So yeah, it was just a really nice time, and I actually think I need to stop back in there maybe today because I don't think I bought enough yarn. Yeah, I need to look into that a little bit more, but I think it would be better for me just to stop in and buy the extra skein just in case, because I feel like if I don't, I'm going to be playing major yarn chicken, and so I don't know that I want to take that chance. But I'm gonna go now. It is probably mid-morning by this time. I'm going to take the girls to a thrift store in Swansboro, and I want to go to a bookshop that is right here on the aisle. It's one that I just have to go to every time I come here because it's a very nostalgic place for me. I used to vacation here as a child. We would come here every year to this beach, and my family, like it's getting sunny. Let me walk over here. So like my little family, the 5 of us, who 2 are my 2 oldest, my 2 boys are married and they're doing their own thing now. But when we would vacation, we would go other places. We didn't really come here to Emerald Isle. But now anytime I come here, I feel like I have to go to this little bookshop because it just holds so many good memories and nostalgia for me. So that is the plan for today, and then make it back down to the beach as well because it's gonna be good beach weather today. So I just wanted to take a few moments to share with you guys, and yeah, I'll check back in some other point and show you the goodies I got at the Salty Sheep. Friday morning on the deck. Last day of vacation, and I have not been knitting these last couple of days, but I brought this out and I'm going to work on this here in a little bit after I talk for a few moments. I just want to show you guys what I got from the Salty Sheep yarn shop in Swansboro. Well, the first thing I want to show you is this really cool gauge wheel. This is a Katrinkle's product, and I thought this was so cool. I just recently saw this. Basically, it just is a way to help you measure your gauge. So you do your gauge swatch, and then you line up your knitting stitches with these little like teeth basically, and it will help you determine which. It's just an easier way to read your gauge, and so I bought that because I thought that would be maybe something that's useful. I'm not typically one for gadgets and such, but I think because I do have a hard time sometimes when I'm trying to count my gauge on a gauge swatch. I don't know if it's, I mean, I have bifocals in my glasses. I don't know if it's that or if it's just, maybe that's something that a lot of people deal with. I have no idea. I just blame it on my, blame it on my perimenopause, my eyes changing, but that's probably not even what it is. But I thought this was a really cool product. I got this beautiful set of Bee and Bloom stitch markers. There's a little bumblebee, so there might be multiple bees. There's multiple bees, there's little flowers. I think that little lavender colored flower is so pretty, so I got a set of these. Then, as I said yesterday, I bought some yarn to make a baby sweater. I don't know, I've never heard of this before, but it's a sport weight, and it is, it's, let me see, washable, 100% merino superwash. And I wanted to do a superwash for sure because I'm knitting this sweater, which, what sweater did I decide on? Oh my goodness, the Rosa cardigan. I wanted to do a cardigan because, you know, with a newborn, it's kind of a pain to pull pullovers down over their heads. Like, I clearly remember that. So I thought if I did a little cardigan, I'll put a picture up here of what that cardigan looks like. It's one that I've had saved in my baby favorites because I am starting to collect those baby knitting patterns, just because, you know, eventually I'm going to be a grandmother. My oldest son's been married for 4 years now, so, you know. The last thing that I bought, well, hold on, let me adjust my camera. Okay, so I should have said at the beginning when I first started talking yesterday that the audio is not going to be great because I left my microphone at home. I didn't plan on filming while I was here. I thought there might be a chance, but then I was like, I don't want to chance leaving that behind. So I apologize if the audio is not very good. But I bought originally 4 skeins, and then I ran back for a 5th skein of this, the Fiber Company. And this is the Cirro or Cirro. Is that Cirro? It is a brushed blend of Surrey alpaca, organic cotton, and merino wool. So it's 40 alpaca, 40 cotton, and 20 wool. And it's this is a 50 gram skein, and it has 246 yards. So I've been wanting to make the Salty Day sweater by Veronica Lindbergh. I don't know that that's the one I'm going to make, but I'm pretty sure. I think that one is written for a DK weight or maybe a sport. I'm planning on holding this double with my Purl Soho good wool yarn that I have at home that's very similar in color to this. This is like the sun is gonna make it hard to see, but it's more like it's a blue, but it's got some green in it. And I thought if I held this double with the good wool, Purl Soho good wool that I have at home, that would make a beautiful sweater, Salty Day sweater. Now that pattern is written for a DK weight, DK maybe? And this plus the good wool is going to give me I think more of a worsted weight gauge, but I'm just going to adapt. I'm going to choose a size based on my gauge that I get. So basically I will just knit my gauge swatch, and then I will pick the size dependent upon my gauge rather than pick it dependent upon my measurements. And you can actually do that with any sweater. There's just a really easy formula, just super easy math that you can do, and then that enables you to pretty much knit any sweater with whatever gauge you get with the yarn that you want to use. So I think this is just so beautiful, and this is my color. This is one of my colors. Oh my goodness, look at this. I'm definitely drawn to blue lately. All right, so I'm going to eat my breakfast. I have an egg sandwich that Brad made for me, and then I have some pickled okra I love okra so much, but I cannot find it in the north where I live. I have to drive an hour to Pittsburgh into the Strip District and get it at the Asian market. That is the only place I have been able to find it locally. My little treat while I'm down here. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go eat my breakfast, and this is our last day here, so I'm not sure what all we'll be doing today, but I'm sure it'll be a busy day, and then getting stuff packed because we're leaving at like 4 in the morning so we can get back to Pennsylvania at a somewhat decent time tomorrow. All right, gonna go enjoy my breakfast. Thanks for joining me on the deck this morning.